In the darkest part of the alley, an 8-year-old girl stepped into the light, holding a bundle wrapped in a thin blue scarf. Her voice was small but brave. "Sir," she said, looking up at the tall man in the neat black coat, "please, can you help me bury my sister?" The wind carried the smell of rain and trash. A stray cat hissed and ran. The girl did not move. She held the bundle tighter. Something inside the cloth gave a weak, shaky breath. If this moment grabs your heart, hit the like button now so more people see it. Tell me where you're watching from in the comments. Your city might get a shout out in the next episode. Now hold your breath, because what happens next changes everything. The man in the coat was Logan Price. People called him a millionaire, a leader, a builder of big things. But inside he was a man who had not smiled in 3 years. That was the day his wife, Hannah, died. Since then, Logan lived by a strict rule. Keep moving, keep working, feel nothing. He kept his calendar full so his heart stayed empty. He knew how to sign a deal in 5 minutes. He did not know how to stand still in a cold alley and face a child asking him to bury a sister. "Where are your parents?" Logan asked. His voice sounded too loud in the narrow space. The girl swallowed. "My name is Lily," she said. "I don't know where Dad is. Mom left 2 days ago to look for food. She didn't come back." She lifted the scarf a little. A tiny face lay there, thin and gray, a soft mouth open like a small fish out of water. "Her name is Hope," Lily whispered. "She's my sister. She won't wake up. I think she's gone. She is. We can't leave her here. People walk on the dead here." Her mouth trembled, but she stood firm. "Please help me bury her so people will respect her." Logan felt his throat close. He had money. He had power. But right now he needed something else, something he had pushed far away since the night he said goodbye to Hannah. He needed courage to feel. He reached out 2 hands. "I'm going to check her, okay?" Lily nodded once. She held the bundle up like it was made of glass. Logan pulled back the scarf. Hope's chest moved, then stopped, then moved again in a tiny stutter. Her skin was too cold. Her lips were pale. "She's not gone," he said, and he felt his own heart kick like a horse. "She's breathing. She needs a hospital now." Lily blinked fast. "But the hospital asks for money first," she said. "We don't have any. We were hiding. A man told me to go away." "I'm not going away," Logan said. He slipped off his coat and wrapped it around both girls. He lifted the baby into his arms and felt how light she was. He looked at Lily. "Stay with me. Do not let go of my sleeve. We're going." They ran. Water splashed under their shoes. A siren howled somewhere far, but the sound didn't come closer. Logan's car stood at the mouth of the alley, black and shiny like a wet stone. His driver, Paul, stared with wide eyes when he saw the kids. "Mr. Price." "Back seat down." "Now," Logan said. He climbed in, still holding Hope. Lily slid in beside him, tiny hands knotted in the hem of his coat like a person trying not to fall off a cliff. "Hospital. Fast." The car moved. Streetlights flashed across the baby's face. Logan counted breaths. 1, then a long gap, then a thin, weak sound. He rubbed Hope's chest with 2 fingers. "Stay with me," he murmured. "Stay." He glanced at Lily. "Can you talk to her? Tell her something. Tell her a story." Lily nodded and leaned close. "Hope," she whispered, "do you remember the blue cup? The one we shared in the morning? I saved it for you. I didn't drink the rainwater. I saved it." Her voice shook. "Don't go. I'll find Mom. Just breathe, okay?" The car pulled up to the hospital entrance. Logan burst through the doors, baby in his arms, Lily at his side. "We need help," he called. A nurse at the desk looked up. She saw the suit. She saw the little girl holding a coat too big for her body. She saw the baby whose chest was barely moving. The nurse stood at once and shouted, "Code Blue Infant. Room 3. They ran down a bright hall. A doctor met them at the door. "I'm Dr. Allen," he said. "Give her to me." His hands were warm and quick. He laid Hope on a small bed under a bright lamp and pressed a hand to her chest. A nurse pushed air through a tiny mask. Another nurse opened a drawer and pulled out a small 4 kit. "What happened?" Dr. Allen asked without looking up. "We found her in an alley," Logan said. "She's cold. She's not breathing well." Dr. Allen nodded. "We'll warm her. We'll support her breathing. Malnourished, hypothermic. Let's get a glucose check." He turned to Logan. "Are you the father?" Logan didn't hesitate. "I'm the one who brought her in. You have everything you need. Do whatever it takes." The doctor's eyes flicked to Lily, who stood on tiptoe, fingers white on the bed rail. "And you are?" I'm her sister, Lily said. I'm 8. Please don't take her away. We're not taking her away, Dr. Allen said gently. We're helping her breathe. A woman in a gray blazer stepped into the room. Her badge said social services. Her face was calm, but her eyes were sharp. I'm Miss Turner, she said. We need to understand who the responsible adult is here for consent and placement. Consent is mine, Logan said. He pulled out his wallet, then stopped. Money could not sign a medical form. My name is Logan Price. He spoke the name as if throwing a rope across a gap. Call the administrator if you need to. I'll sign whatever is needed. I'll pay for the care. Miss Turner studied him. Most people quivered when they faced that steady look. Logan did not quiver, but he did feel the ground beneath him shift. Mr. Price, she said, I know who you are. Money is helpful. But the law needs to see who has legal custody. She doesn't have anyone, Lily whispered, eyes on her sister. Except me. Dr. Allen said, let's stabilize the baby first. He turned his focus back to Hope. Good. There. We have a stronger breath now. Keep the mask. Warm blankets. The tiny chest moved in a softer rhythm. Not safe, not strong, but no longer fading like smoke. Logan let out a breath he did not know he held. He looked at Lily. You did well, he said. You stayed with her. Lily nodded, but her eyes filled with tears. I don't want to cry, she said, but I feel like I'm breaking. You're not breaking, Logan said. He moved to kneel so his eyes were level with hers. You're brave. Miss Turner cleared her throat softly. Mr. Price, Lily, I'm going to ask some questions. Where do you live? Do you know your address? Lily swallowed. We sleep near the old bakery. There's a door with a broken step. It's dry under it when it rains. Any adults with you? Anyone who looks out for you? There was a lady named June. She shared bread last week, but she left. She said there was a bus going far. Do you go to school? I used to, Lily said. Then we moved all the time. I can read some words. Miss Turner wrote something down. Her mouth tightened. Okay. For tonight, the baby stays in care. Lily, we need to find a safe place for you to sleep. She stays with me, Logan said. The room went quiet. The monitor beeped. A nurse checked the baby's tiny hand. Miss Turner looked at Logan as if he had just told the sun where to rise. Mr. Price, she said carefully, that's not how this works. We have a process. Then move the process, Logan said, and his voice was calm, not loud. He was not in a boardroom, but the same steel lived in his words. I'm not leaving her alone. Not after what I saw. Dr. Allen glanced between them, then back to Hope. Let's make a short plan. The baby will be in NICU for observation. Lily needs immediate shelter. Social services will place her in emergency care. Mr. Price, if you want to help, you can stay as a visitor until placement is set. Lily spoke in a rush. Please. I can help with Hope. She listens when I talk. She likes the sound of the Blue Cup song. Her small shoulders shook. If I can't stay, she will think I left her. Miss Turner's face softened. She crouched beside Lily. Sweetheart, we never want to make a baby feel alone. We just need to make sure you are safe too. We can find a place together. Logan's phone buzzed in his pocket. He didn't look at it. Instead, he looked at the glass panel that showed the hallway. People walked by, carrying paperwork and pushing carts. 3 years ago, he had stood behind another glass panel, staring at a door that would not open again. He heard Hannah's laugh in his memory, the one that made ordinary rooms feel warm. He had spent 3 years closing every door inside his chest. Now a child in a thin dress had pushed one open with 4 words, "Please bury my sister." Miss Turner, he said, can we do this together? Let me sit with Lily while you start your process. We'll answer every question. She studied him again, then nodded. You can sit in the family room. I'll join you after I call my supervisor. They led Lily and Logan to a small room with soft chairs and a vending machine that blinked like a friendly robot. Logan gave Lily a bottle of water. She held it with both hands as if it were a treasure. Thank you, she said. You don't have to thank me, he said. Yes, I do, she answered. Because people walk past. He had walked past many things. Meetings. Birthdays. A grief counselor's card he never called. He looked at the wall clock and felt time in a new way, not as a schedule but as a space where small lives either fall or are caught. Can I ask you something? Lily said. Yes. Why did you stop? Most men don't stop in alleys in fancy coats. He thought about it, then told the truth. I heard you say bury, and I remembered holding a hand I could not keep. I promised that if I ever met someone standing where I stood, I would not pretend I didn't hear. Did you keep your promise? She asked. I'm trying now. Lily nodded. She twisted the cap off the water and took a careful sip as if afraid to take too much. Hope likes when I sing. But my voice is not loud. I think she hears it in my chest. What's the Blue Cup song? He asked. It's not a real song, she said. It's just words I made up so she wouldn't cry when I gave her the last sip. She hummed a tune that was thin and slow, like a small river in the dark. Miss Turner came in with a folder. Okay, she said gently. I spoke with my supervisor. Here's what we can do tonight. The baby is being stabilized. She'll go up to NICU soon. Lily, we have a foster home who can take you right now. Lily's eyes jumped wide. Right now? But Hope. You can visit tomorrow, Miss Turner said. The foster home is near the hospital. Logan saw the fear rise in Lily like a wave. He also saw the straight spine that had not bent since the alley. She had stood in front of a man and asked to bury a sister. She had earned a voice in what happened next. Is there any way for her to stay here tonight? He asked. A chair. A blanket. I will stay too. You can keep us in sight. Take every paper you need. The process fits the problem good. But tonight the problem is a little girl who thinks leaving this building means leaving her sister forever. Miss Turner hesitated. It's unusual. Grief is unusual, Logan said. But we still meet it. The social worker looked at Lily. How do you feel? Be honest. I want to be where Hope can hear me, Lily whispered. Miss Turner took a breath. All right. I'll request a one-night exception for hospital stay with supervision. You both remain in the waiting area by the NICU window. Mr. Price, you will not leave with Lily. If you do, I'll call security. Understood. Understood, Logan said. He did not add that he had never been more willing to be watched. They went back to the hall outside NICU. Through the glass, they could see small beds like islands with lights, wires, and soft blankets. Nurses moved with quiet hands. A tech pasted a tiny sensor to Hope's foot. The monitor glowed, showing a slow heartbeat. Lily pressed her palm to the glass. I'm here, she whispered. Can you feel me, Hope? I'm here. A nurse stepped out. You must be the sister, she said with a smile. I'm Carla. I will be with your baby most of the night. If you want, you can sit in that chair. Sometimes babies do better when they hear a familiar sound. You can hum your song softly. Lily's face lit, then dimmed. Can I? Miss Turner said. Miss Turner nodded. You can sit there but stay in the seat. I'll be right here. Lily sat. She placed her mouth close to the glass and hummed. The sound was almost nothing, like the air moving when a bird passes by high in the sky. Logan watched the monitor. The line stayed slow, then steadier. Dr. Allen walked up behind them. She's holding, he said. We'll keep warming her and give a small sugar boost. It's good she's not alone. Logan looked down the hall. A cleaning cart rattled. A man leaned on a payphone, arguing with someone. It felt like 1,000 tiny lives were happening in one thin hallway, each one asking not to be ignored. He felt something inside him loosen, the way a knotted rope loosens when water soaks it for a long time. His phone buzzed again. He checked the screen. It was a reminder for a 7 a.m. board call about a tower project. He slid the phone back into his pocket. Paul, he said quietly to his driver who had stayed nearby, call the office. Clear my morning. Tell them it's urgent family business. Paul blinked. He had worked for Logan a long time. He knew how heavy those words were. Yes, sir. Miss Turner looked at him with new eyes. Family business? Logan met her gaze. Sometimes we don't get to choose who calls us family, he said. Sometimes they choose us. They sat for a long time. The night thinned. The vending machine hummed. Lily's hum rose and fell. Miss Turner typed notes on a tablet. Dr. Allen came and went. Each time he gave a small update. Better temperature. Sugar improving. Still fragile. The words stacked like bricks, building a small shelter around their fear. Around midnight, Miss Turner put her tablet down. Lily, she said, do you remember anything that could help us find your mom? A friend, a place she liked to go? Lily rubbed her eyes. There's a church on 14th Street, she said. We sat on the steps sometimes. A lady there gave me a biscuit on Tuesdays. Mom said she was kind. What's the lady's name? I don't know, Lily said. She wore a blue scarf with flowers. She called me Sweet Pea. Miss Turner wrote that down. We'll check. Logan stared at the glass where Hope slept. He remembered a different glass, the one from the night Hannah wore a hospital gown and smiled even though her body was tired. She had pressed his hand hard. "If you can stop harm," she had said, "you must." He thought he had done that by building strong bridges and safe buildings. He never thought stop harm would look like holding a baby whose breath was a thread. He stood and stretched his back. "I need to make a quick call," he said to Miss Turner. "I'll be right outside." He walked to the end of the hall where it was quiet. He dialed a number he had not dialed in years. When the voicemail tone sounded, words came out before he could stop them. "Pastor Jim, it's Logan. I don't know if you still have this number. I'm at County General. If you're awake, could you come? There's a little girl named Lily and a baby named Hope. They need someone who knows how to sit in the dark and not be afraid." He paused. "And I think I need that too." He hung up. He turned back and froze. A police officer stood by Miss Turner, writing something in a small notebook. Miss Turner's face was serious. The officer's eyes were on Logan now, cool and professional. Lily's song had stopped. She held the arms of the chair, knuckles white. "What's happening?" Logan asked, walking fast. Miss Turner kept her voice even, but there was a new tightness in it. "Mr. Price, hospital security flagged something when we entered Hope's information. There's a missing persons alert on file for a child matching Lily's description. It was filed last month from another city. A neighbor reported neglect. There's also a note about possible endangerment. We need to confirm identities." Lily's mouth fell open. "We're not bad," she whispered. "We just got left." The officer closed his notebook. "Sir, I'll need to ask you a few questions about how you found these children. And until we figure this out, we can't allow you to be alone with the girl." Logan's jaw worked. He kept his tone steady. "You can ask me anything. I won't leave." He looked at Lily. "It's okay. We'll tell the truth." The officer nodded, but his face didn't soften. "Also," he said, "there's one more thing. A woman just came into the ER asking about a baby wrapped in a blue scarf. She says the child is hers." Lily shot to her feet. "Mom?" Her voice cracked. She took one step toward the door before the officer lifted a hand. "Slow down," he said. "We haven't confirmed anything. The woman is agitated. She looks unwell." Logan felt the air thin. Miss Turner touched her earpiece, listening to a voice only she could hear. Her eyes lifted to his with a warning he did not yet understand. "Mr. Price," she said carefully, "they're bringing the woman up now. But the ER nurse says she isn't alone." Miss Turner swallowed. "There's a man with her who says he's a guardian. He's demanding cash to release the baby to the hospital." The hallway seemed to tilt. Hope's monitor made a soft tick. Lily's small chest rose and fell too fast. The elevator dinged. The doors slid open with a gentle sigh and two figures stepped out, one woman wild-eyed and shaking, scarf half falling from her hair, and a tall man with a hard smile and a heavy chain around his neck. The man's eyes swept the hall, then stopped on Lily. "There she is," he said in a low voice that carried too far. "The older one. She runs fast." Miss Turner moved in front of Lily. The officer stepped forward, hand near his radio. Nurses paused. A cold hush fell over the bright hallway. The man tilted his head at Logan, measuring him. The smile didn't reach his eyes. "You got money, right?" he said. "Good. Because nothing leaves this floor until we get what's owed." Lily's hand found Logan's sleeve and held on like before, like a person at the edge of a cliff. Hope's tiny heartbeat drew a slow line across the glowing screen. And in that frozen second, between a promise remembered and a threat spoken, between a child's grip and a stranger's demand, the glowing NICU monitor let out one long, flat sound. The sound of the flat line tore through the hallway like a scream no one could hold back. Nurses rushed in. The monitor showed a single line of light, still and cold. Lily's tiny hand clung to Logan's sleeve, her breath breaking into sobs that seemed too deep for her small chest. "No, no, no," she whispered, her voice barely there. "Please don't take her." Logan moved without thinking. He followed the nurses into the room, his heart hammering against his ribs. He saw Hope's tiny body on the bed, pale as paper. Dr. Allen was already pressing his fingers against her chest, calling for epinephrine. The room filled with the sound of machines and orders. For a moment, everything became a blur of white coats and rushing air. Then he heard the words he feared most. "No pulse." The doctor's voice was low but steady. "Continue compressions." Logan's throat tightened. He had been in rooms like this before. He had seen lights flicker over Hannah's face while he prayed for one more heartbeat. He remembered standing in that same silence when the sound stopped forever. He had promised himself he would never stand in that kind of silence again. But here he was. He took one step forward and placed a trembling hand on Lily's shoulder. "She's fighting," he whispered, though he wasn't sure if it was true. "Let them work." Lily pressed her face into his coat. "She doesn't want to leave me," she cried. "She promised she'd stay." Dr. Allen's voice cut through the chaos. "Charge, 1 milligram, clear." The defibrillator buzzed. Hope's tiny body jerked. The line flickered, then went flat again. The nurse's hands shook as she switched the pads. Another jolt. Another still moment. Then beep, beep, beep. It was faint, uneven, fragile, but it was there. The nurse let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding. "We've got her back." The sound filled the room like light. Lily gasped and ran forward until the nurse stopped her gently. "Easy, sweetheart. She needs rest now." Logan felt his knees weaken. He caught the edge of the counter and leaned hard. For the first time in years, tears burned behind his eyes. He didn't fight them this time. He let them fall silently down his face. "Thank you," he whispered under his breath. "Please don't take her." Miss Turner exhaled too, pressing a hand to her chest. Even the officer who had been standing at the door looked away for a second, pretending to check his radio. The tension in the hallway broke, replaced by soft movements and quiet prayers. But the peace didn't last long. The man with the chain necklace stepped closer, his tone low and sharp. "That's sweet and all," he said, "but we still got business." The officer turned fast. "Sir, you need to step back." The man smirked. "You don't tell me what to do. That woman owes money. The kid too. I feed them, I protect them, and they run. You think I won't get what's mine?" Lily froze. Lily froze. "He's lying," she said, clutching Logan's sleeve. "He made Mom beg. He said if she didn't bring money he'd—" The man's hand twitched like he might reach for her. The officer moved first, blocking his path. "That's enough," he said firmly. "Hands where I can see them." The man laughed but didn't obey. "You think jail scares me? I own half the people down there." Logan stepped between them. His voice was calm, but it cut through the air like glass. "You don't own anyone. Not anymore." "Big words, rich man," the man sneered. "You think your money fixes everything? Pay the debt and maybe I'll walk." "Debt," Logan repeated. "You're talking about a child's life as if it's a loan. You're done." He looked at the officer. "Arrest him." The officer nodded. "Gladly." Within seconds, backup arrived. The man cursed and struggled, but 2 uniformed officers grabbed his arms and pinned him against the wall. His chain hit the floor with a loud clink. "You'll regret this," he spat as they dragged him away. "You don't even know what's coming." The woman, their mother, stood by the wall, shaking. Her eyes were glassy, her hair tangled, her lips cracked. She looked like a ghost pulled too fast out of the dark. "Please," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Don't hurt him. He's dangerous. I didn't mean for it to happen like this." Miss Turner approached her carefully. "Ma'am, what's your name?" "Elena," the woman said softly. "Elena Brooks." She looked toward the NICU window and saw the baby inside. Her legs gave out and she fell to her knees. "Hope," she cried. "Oh God, she's still breathing?" "She's alive," Dr. Allen said, "but very weak." Elena covered her mouth with shaking hands. "I didn't know what to do. He took our food carts. He said if I didn't find money by tonight, he'd take Lily too. I went to the ER because I thought someone might help. I didn't think he'd follow me." Lily ran to her and threw her arms around her neck. "Mom?" The woman clung to her daughter as if afraid she would vanish. "I'm sorry," Elena sobbed. "I'm so sorry, baby." Miss Turner knelt beside them. "Elena, we'll need to take your statement. You and your children are safe now. That man's being taken into custody." Elena nodded weakly, still shaking. Logan watched them, his heart heavy. There was so much pain in one small family. He couldn't look away. Miss Turner turned to him. "Mr. Price, thank you for intervening. Without you, we might not have reached them in time." "Don't thank me," he said quietly. "Just help them." "We will," she said. "But tonight we'll need emergency shelter for the mother and the children. There will be paperwork, assessments, and—" "No," Logan interrupted softly but firmly. "They're not going to a shelter." Miss Turner blinked. "Excuse me?" "They can stay at one of my properties," he said. "I have an extra suite near the hospital. Secure. Clean. I'll hire a nurse to stay with them. You can assign a caseworker and supervise it all. I just don't want them in another cold place." Miss Turner hesitated. "That's unorthodox." "So is watching a man threaten a baby," he said. She didn't argue. After a long pause, she nodded. All right. We'll allow temporary placement under medical supervision. Dr. Allen added quietly, the baby will need long-term care, but she's stable enough for family support soon. Logan exhaled. For the first time, something inside him unclenched. It wasn't relief, it was purpose. He hadn't felt that in years. The next morning came slowly. Gray light slid through the hospital blinds. Logan had stayed all night in a chair beside Lily and her mother. His phone was full of missed calls, but he didn't care. He watched Hope through the glass, tiny chest rising and falling. Every breath was a miracle. Lily stirred beside him, waking up with sleepy eyes. Is she okay? She's fighting, he said with a soft smile. Just like you. Elena woke next. She looked older in the light, but her eyes were clearer. Mr. Price, she whispered, I don't know how to thank you. Don't, he said simply. Just rest. But she shook her head. You don't understand. I prayed last night that someone, anyone, would see us. No one ever does. Then you came. He didn't answer. He just looked at Hope. Maybe someone wanted me to. By afternoon, hospital staff helped move them to a private suite Logan arranged. Lily stared wide-eyed at the soft bed and clean sheets. It's like a dream, she said. Do we really get to stay here? For now, Logan said. Until Hope gets stronger. And then what? She asked. He didn't have an answer. We'll see. Hope was transferred later that evening, tubes still attached but her heartbeat stronger. The nurse, Carla, came with them, smiling gently. She's a tough one, she said. You'd be surprised how the smallest hearts fight the hardest. That night, the room was quiet except for the soft beeping of machines. Logan sat by the window looking at the city lights. Elena slept with her hand wrapped around Lily's. The baby's breathing was steady. He thought of Hannah again, how she used to sit by the window too, watching the same city. She had once told him that life isn't about how much we build, but how much we hold. He hadn't understood then. Now he did. He wasn't holding steel or money tonight. He was holding a second chance. Around midnight, he went to the hallway for some air. Miss Turner was waiting there with a file. You've done a good thing, Mr. Price, she said. But I need to be honest. This won't be easy. The mother has pending welfare cases. There's investigation, background checks, potential custody hearings. Then we do it properly, he said. Whatever it takes. You really care about them, don't you? He nodded. They reminded me what being human feels like. That's rare to hear from someone in your position. That's because most of us forget we were people before we were rich. She smiled faintly. You're different. No, he said. I just stopped running. Miss Turner closed the file. I'll handle the paperwork. You focus on helping them heal. When he went back inside, Lily was sitting up, humming softly to Hope. She likes it when I sing, she said sleepily. It's our Blue Cup song. Keep singing, he said. She's listening. Days passed. Hope's strength returned little by little. Nurses smiled every time they saw her awake. Lily never left her side. Elena started therapy sessions with a hospital counselor, her eyes slowly regaining life. And Logan, he found himself there every morning, reading, helping, fixing small things. Each moment felt like stitching a broken piece of his soul back together. One afternoon, Dr. Allen approached him. You've spent a lot of time here, Mr. Price. I don't know where else I'd rather be, Logan said. The doctor smiled. You've made more difference than any donation check ever could. Logan watched Lily laugh as Hope reached for her finger. Maybe that's what I was supposed to learn, he said. But the peace wouldn't last forever. The next week, Miss Turner came with papers in her hand and a tight look on her face. Mr. Price, there's something you need to know, she said. The man we arrested, he's talking. He's claiming Elena owes him money from before, and that he has proof she signed something. He's trying to press charges to get custody rights. Custody? Logan repeated sharply. Over what, her children? It's a manipulation, she said. But legally he can make trouble. Logan clenched his fists. Then we fight him. It won't be simple, Miss Turner warned. He's connected to people who know how to twist the system. Then he hasn't met me yet, Logan said quietly. His voice was calm but his eyes burned. He turned toward the window where Hope slept peacefully. I've built empires. I can rebuild justice too. That night, while everyone slept, Logan made a call to an old friend, a lawyer who once helped him through his wife's estate. I need you, he said. Not for business. For something real this time. The lawyer agreed. Papers were filed. Investigations began. The man's background started to unravel. Illegal debts, exploitation, and missing reports. The truth came out slowly but surely. Through it all, Logan stayed close to Lily and Hope. The girls became a part of his world, the world Hannah would have loved. Each smile from them was like sunlight breaking through old clouds. But one evening, while tucking Lily in, she asked quietly, "Will you leave when Hope is better?" Logan froze. "Why would you ask that?" "Because everyone leaves," she said softly. "Mom doesn't mean to. The world just makes people go." He sat beside her. "I'm not going anywhere. Not unless you tell me to. Promise." "Promise." Lily smiled, and for the first time she looked like a child who believed in safety again. Logan turned off the light and sat in the quiet. Hope's steady breathing filled the room. Outside, the city glowed. Inside, something was healing, for all of them. But unknown to Logan, across town, the man in the chain sat in a holding cell, whispering into a phone through the bars. "You think you can bury me with paperwork?" he hissed. "Watch what happens when the rich man learns the girl he saved isn't who he thinks she is." The line went dead. And miles away, in the soft light of the hospital suite, Hope stirred suddenly in her sleep, her tiny fingers curling tight as if she felt a storm coming. Rain fell hard that night, hammering against the glass like it wanted to break inside. Logan sat near the window of the hospital suite, staring at the wet city lights. Hope slept quietly in her crib, her tiny chest rising and falling in peaceful rhythm. Lily was curled up beside her mother on the small couch, both finally asleep after days of worry. Everything looked calm, but something about the silence made his stomach tighten. He had learned that peace often came right before storms. His phone buzzed on the table. Unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. "Mr. Price?" a male voice said, low and steady. "This is Detective Monroe from Precinct 9. We have a situation." Logan straightened. "What kind of situation?" "The man we arrested last week, Tony Voss, escaped custody about an hour ago. He had help. We're tracking him, but there's a chance he'll come looking for the family you helped." Logan's blood ran cold. "How?" "One of his contacts pulled strings. The system glitched long enough for him to walk out with fake transfer papers. We're coordinating roadblocks." Logan looked at the door, every muscle in his body tensed. "You think he's coming here?" "We can't be sure," the detective said. "But he has motive. Keep them safe. Don't let anyone in until our team arrives." The call ended. Logan's heart pounded so hard he could hear it. He stood and locked the door, then checked every window. The night suddenly felt too dark, the shadows too deep. He walked over to Elena, shaking her gently. "Wake up," he whispered. She blinked, confused. "What's wrong?" "We might have trouble," he said. "The man who threatened you, he escaped." Her breath caught. No, he can't. He said he'd come back for Lily." "He won't touch her," Logan said firmly. "But we need to stay alert. I already called security." He moved to the crib and looked down at Hope. She stirred but didn't wake. "We won't let him near them," he murmured. A few minutes later, the sound of footsteps echoed in the hall. Logan froze. He peered through the peephole. A hospital guard was walking slowly, flashlight sweeping the floor. Logan exhaled, his shoulders easing a little. But then the lights flickered once, then twice, and the hallway went dark. Elena gasped softly. "Power outage?" she whispered. "No," Logan said quietly. Backup generators would have kicked in. The sound of metal dragging against the floor came from the distance, a slow scrape like something being pulled. Then silence. Logan's instincts sharpened. He grabbed the heavy lamp from the table and positioned himself near the door. Elena pulled Lily closer and whispered a prayer under her breath. A shadow moved past the glass panel in the door, too slow, too deliberate to be a nurse. Logan raised the lamp, ready. The handle rattled once, then stopped. "Mr. Price?" a deep voice called softly. "You're a hard man to reach." Logan didn't answer. The voice chuckled, low and amused. "Open the door. Let's talk like civilized people." "You're not civilized," Logan said coldly. "Leave now or you won't walk out." "That's funny," the voice said. "Because last time I checked, you don't call the shots. You took something that belongs to me. They're people, not property." "Everything's property to someone who's paid enough for it," the man said. Logan's grip on the lamp tightened. He motioned for Elena to take Lily and hide in the bathroom. She did, moving silently, her arms trembling as she carried the child. The door rattled again, harder this time. Logan's pulse quickened. The man was testing the lock. Logan stepped forward quietly and grabbed the chair, jamming it under the handle. Then he picked up his phone and texted the detective one word. "He's here." The reply came seconds later. Units en route. 5 minutes. Stay inside. But 5 minutes felt like forever when fear breathed on the other side of a door. You can't hide them forever, Tony said, his tone turning darker. You think you're a hero? You're just another rich fool trying to fix what's already broken. The scraping sound returned. Then silence again. Logan held his breath. For a moment he thought maybe the man had gone. But then glass shattered behind him. A window. Logan turned fast. The man climbed in from the fire escape, rain dripping from his jacket. His eyes gleamed like a predator's. Told you we'd talk, he said, grinning. Logan swung the lamp. It hit Tony's shoulder hard, sending him stumbling but not falling. You think I didn't learn how to take a hit? Tony growled. He rushed forward. Logan blocked him, pushing him back toward the wall. The lamp shattered on impact. They struggled, crashing into a table. The noise woke Hope, who began to cry, a small, panicked sound that cut through the chaos. Tony turned toward the crib. There she is, he hissed. Logan moved faster. He grabbed Tony's arm and slammed it against the wall. You don't touch her. You think she's yours? Tony snarled. You don't even know the truth about that baby. Logan froze for a second too long. Tony's fist connected with his jaw. Pain shot through his face. What did you say? Logan demanded, his voice rough. Tony smiled, a cruel twist. Ask the mother who the father really is. Elena's voice came from behind them, trembling but sharp. Stop lying. She had stepped out, holding Lily's hand tightly. Tony turned toward her. Tell him, he taunted. Tell your rich friend how that baby came to be. Enough. Logan barked. Don't listen to him, Elena said, tears filling her eyes. He's twisting things. Tony laughed harshly. Oh, I'm twisting? You think I don't remember? You came to me begging for help after your husband left. You said you'd do anything. You remember that night? Elena's face went pale. You're disgusting, she spat. You forced yourself on me. You said it was the only way to keep my children safe. Lily began to cry, not fully understanding but feeling the terror in her mother's voice. Mom, what's happening? Nothing, sweetheart, Elena said, forcing calm she didn't feel. Tony's grin widened. So now your rich friend knows. The baby isn't a miracle, it's a reminder. Logan's anger burned so hot he could barely see. You're a monster, he said. Tony shrugged. Maybe. But monsters survive. You're just playing savior. Logan lunged again, slamming Tony to the floor. This time the fight was short. Years of discipline and strength won over desperation. Logan pinned him down, breathing hard. You don't speak another word about them. Tony laughed weakly. You think this ends with me? You'll see. Sirens wailed outside. Red lights flashed through the rain-streaked windows. Officers burst through the door seconds later, guns raised. Hands up, one shouted. Tony didn't resist this time. He smirked as they cuffed him. We'll see how long your money protects them, he muttered as they dragged him out. The door closed. Silence fell. Elena sank to the floor, shaking uncontrollably. Logan crouched beside her. It's over, he said softly. He's gone. No, she whispered, tears spilling down her cheeks. It's not over. He ruined everything. No, he said firmly. He doesn't get to ruin anything else. Lily crawled into her mother's arms. Mom, it's okay, she said, her voice small. Hope is still here. We're still here. Elena hugged her tightly, nodding through sobs. The next morning, Detective Monroe came to take statements. The hospital staff moved them to another floor for safety. Hope's condition improved, though she needed careful monitoring. The detective pulled Logan aside. You did good, Price, he said. You kept them alive. What happens now? Logan asked. Tony's being held without bail. But he's connected to a bigger ring, trafficking, loans, extortion. Your intervention just cracked open something much uglier. Then keep it open, Logan said. Don't let them bury it. We won't, Monroe promised. But there's another thing. The DNA results we ran from hospital admission. They confirm what Elena said. The baby isn't biologically related to her late husband. Logan's stomach turned. Then Tony, it's likely, the detective said. But we'll confirm with his sample. Logan looked through the glass at Hope sleeping, peaceful again. She's innocent, he said quietly. She didn't ask for any of this. Monroe nodded. That's the truth. Days passed slowly after that. The hospital became quieter. Hope gained strength. Elena started trauma counseling. Lily began drawing again, sketching pictures of Mr. Logan as a hero with a cape. But Logan was fighting his own storm inside. Tony's words haunted him, not because of the accusation but because of what they stirred in him. He felt responsible now not just for saving their lives but for what came after. He spent evenings by Hope's bedside, talking softly as if she could understand. "You've been through more than most people ever will," he whispered one night. "But you're strong. You have to be." The baby stirred and made a soft sound, her hand gripping his finger. Something inside him broke open again, the same place grief had closed years ago. He realized he was no longer running from Hannah's memory. He was walking toward what she had always wanted him to see, that love wasn't about what we lose but what we choose to protect. One morning Miss Turner came with news. "Mr. Price," she said, "the court granted temporary guardianship to Elena. But the state wants to ensure long-term stability. They're asking for a financial guarantor." Logan didn't hesitate. "I'll be that guarantor." "That means a lot of responsibility," she warned. "I know." "You're sure?" "Completely." She smiled faintly. "You've changed since I first met you." "No," he said. "I just remembered who I was supposed to be." That evening he took Lily to the hospital garden. The sun was setting, warm and soft. She held his hand and looked up. "Mr. Logan, can I ask you something?" "Anything." "Do you think God forgot us for a while?" He thought about that. "No," he said gently. "I think sometimes he waits until someone else is ready to help." "Like you?" she asked. "Like us," he said, smiling. "Because you didn't stop fighting either." She grinned and ran ahead to pick a flower. He watched her laugh and felt something pure rise inside him. Hope, fragile but alive. When they went back inside, Elena was sitting by Hope's bed, humming softly. The same song Lily always sang. The Blue Cup song. It was quiet, gentle, and full of love. Logan stood by the door, listening. For the first time in 3 years, he didn't feel like a man haunted by loss. He felt like a man walking toward light again. But far away in a police evidence room, an envelope sat sealed on a desk. Inside, documents Tony had left behind before his arrest. The label read, "For Logan Price, he's not ready for the truth." The officer sorting the files paused, curious, before placing it into storage. And in the quiet hospital room, Hope opened her eyes for the first time without pain, staring straight at Logan as if she somehow already knew his face. The morning light poured through the window like gold spilled across the room. For the first time in weeks, everything seemed calm. Hope was sitting upright in her hospital crib, wrapped in a soft pink blanket. Her tiny fingers clutched a toy rabbit that Lily had found in the hospital gift shop. Elena sat nearby, her face still pale but softer now, her eyes no longer empty. She was humming the Blue Cup song, her voice fragile but warm. Logan stood by the doorway holding 2 cups of coffee. He handed one to her. "You look stronger," he said quietly. "I slept," she replied. "For the first time in a long time." She looked at him, her eyes glistening. "I still don't know how to thank you, Logan." "You already did," he said. "By surviving." She smiled faintly. "I wasn't sure I could." "You did," he said. "And so did they." He nodded toward the girls. Lily was teaching Hope how to clap her hands. The baby laughed, a soft, sweet sound that filled the room like music. Logan felt something tighten in his chest. He hadn't realized how much he'd missed the sound of laughter in a home. He glanced down at his phone when it buzzed. A message from his lawyer. "Detective wants to meet. Says it's urgent." Logan frowned. He looked at Elena. "I need to step out for a bit. Detective Monroe wants to see me." She nodded. "Is everything okay?" "It's probably about the case," he said, though his tone was uncertain. "Stay with the girls. I'll be back soon." He left the hospital and drove downtown. Rain began to fall again, thin at first, then heavy. The gray sky pressed low over the city. At the precinct, Detective Monroe met him with a serious expression. "We need to talk privately," the detective said. He led Logan into a small office and closed the door. "We went through Tony Voss's belongings again," Monroe began. "He left something addressed to you." He slid a thick envelope across the table. Logan hesitated, then opened it. Inside were several folded documents and a handwritten note. The handwriting was sharp and slanted, like someone who never wrote anything gently. "You think you saved them, but you don't even know who they are. That woman isn't who she says she is, and the baby isn't the only one with secrets. Dig deep enough and you'll wish you hadn't." Logan frowned. "What's this supposed to mean?" Monroe leaned forward. "That's what I want to find out. But there's more." He handed over a birth certificate, one that looked freshly printed. "That's from state records," he said. "The baby, Hope, wasn't registered under Elena Brooks. Her birth was filed under a different name 2 weeks before Elena ever showed up at the shelter. Logan looked at the document. Name Hope Carter. Mother, unknown. Guardian listed Hannah Price. He froze. His late wife's name. His breath caught, and for a moment, everything blurred. That's impossible, he whispered. Hannah's been gone for 3 years. I checked twice, Monroe said quietly. It's her full name, same ID number. But the file was created posthumously, which means someone used her identity to file the record. Logan stared at the paper, his hands trembling. Why would anyone do that? That's what we need to find out, Monroe said. It could be a mistake or it could be something bigger. Maybe Tony was involved in something we didn't see. Logan sank into the chair, running a hand over his face. His mind spun through memories, the hospital, the alley, the way Hope had clung to his finger. Could it be possible? No. Hannah couldn't have known them. She was gone long before this. And yet, something about Hope's eyes, the soft gray flecks, had always felt strangely familiar. There's one more thing, Monroe said. Tony kept a phone. We cracked it this morning. There's a video message saved under your name. Do you want to see it? Logan nodded. The detective pressed play. The screen lit up with Tony's face, bruised, sneering. Logan Price, he said, smirking. You think money makes you clean? You think saving one broken family will wash your sins away? The truth is buried deeper than you know. You didn't find that baby by chance. You were meant to. He leaned closer to the camera. Ask your wife's doctor what really happened the night she died. Ask about the second patient in that ward. The video ended. Logan's pulse roared in his ears. He stood abruptly. Where was this recorded? In his safe house 2 nights before his arrest, Monroe said. We thought it was just him ranting, but now it sounds like a warning, Logan finished. The detective nodded. Exactly. Logan's mind reeled. Ask your wife's doctor. That name surfaced immediately, Dr. Harvey. The man who had been there the night Hannah passed. The man who had told him there were complications. He had trusted him completely. He grabbed his coat. I need to find him. Wait, Monroe said. Let us handle it. No, Logan said sharply. This is my wife, my life. I need answers. He walked out before the detective could stop him. The rain had turned to a storm by the time he reached the old hospital. It looked different now, older, colder. The white paint had peeled from the walls and the sign at the entrance flickered dimly. He walked to the front desk. I'm looking for Dr. Harvey, he said. The receptionist looked uneasy. Dr. Harvey retired last year, but he still lives in the staff quarters behind the West Wing. Logan didn't wait. He ran through the empty hallways until he reached a small apartment door with a brass plate. Dr. Samuel Harvey. He knocked hard. The door opened slowly. The doctor appeared, older, thinner, but his sharp eyes were the same. Mr. Price, he said, startled. It's been a while. You remember me? Logan said flatly. Good. Then you'll tell me what Tony Voss meant when he said my wife's death wasn't an accident. The doctor's expression flickered. Come in, he said quietly. The room smelled of old paper and medicine. You shouldn't be here, Logan. Tell me the truth, Logan demanded. Dr. Harvey sat down heavily. Your wife, Hannah, came in that night because of complications with her pregnancy. But what you didn't know is that she wasn't the only patient. Another woman was brought in, badly injured, bleeding, nearly unconscious. Her name was Elena Brooks. Logan's blood went cold. Elena? The same Elena? Yes, Harvey said. They both were in critical condition. Hannah's condition worsened during surgery, but before she passed, she said something strange. She told us if the baby made it, we should give her a name of Hope. We thought she was delirious, but after she died, the other woman delivered a premature baby. The child wasn't breathing at first. We revived her. The mother, Elena, refused to take the baby. She said she couldn't care for her. So one of the nurses filed paperwork to assign guardianship to a name Hannah had signed earlier, her own. It was irregular, but at the time, no one questioned it. Logan stared in disbelief. You're saying Hannah's name was used to save that child's life? Yes, Harvey said. But we didn't know it would come back years later. Tony must have found out and used it to manipulate Elena. Logan sank into the chair, the world spinning around him. The truth felt heavy, impossible. So Hannah's last wish was for Hope to live. Exactly, Harvey said softly. That's why she named her Hope. It wasn't random. Logan pressed his hands against his face. Everything made sense now. The name, the timing, the strange feeling when he first saw the baby. He wasn't drawn to her by accident. It was as if Hannah herself had guided him to her. He stood. "Thank you," he said quietly. "You have no idea what this means." "Be careful, Logan," Harvey warned. "If Tony knew this, others might too. People like him don't let things end quietly." Logan nodded and left. The storm outside had eased, leaving the streets slick and shining under pale light. He drove back to the hospital in silence, his mind full of Hannah's voice, the memory of her last words. "If you can stop harm, you must." When he reached the suite, Lily ran to him. "You're back. Hope missed you." He knelt and hugged her tight. "I missed her too." Elena looked at him curiously. "What happened?" "I found answers," he said. "About Hannah. About Hope. And about you." Her face tensed. "About me?" "You don't have to explain," he said. "I know what happened. You don't owe me anything." Tears filled her eyes. "You don't hate me?" "No," he said softly. "You kept her alive. That's what matters." She covered her mouth, sobbing quietly. "I thought you'd send us away." "You're home now," he said. "As long as you need to be." That night, when the girls were asleep, Logan stood by the window again. He whispered into the quiet, "You did it, Hannah. You led me back to them." The city lights flickered, and for a moment, it felt like the room glowed warmer, like she was there somehow, smiling. But outside, unseen in the parking lot below, a dark car idled. Inside, a man with a scar on his chin spoke into a phone. "He found the truth," he said. "But it's not over. The files Tony kept, there's more. Much more." He turned off the engine and drove into the night, his headlights vanishing into the rain. Back inside the suite, Hope stirred in her sleep and reached out as if searching for someone unseen. Logan sat beside her and took her hand gently. "You're safe," he whispered. "I promise you're safe." But deep down he felt the faint echo of Tony's words. You were meant to find her. The next morning began with sunlight, the kind that tried to pretend nothing bad had ever happened. It poured across the hospital floor, soft and golden, touching Hope's blanket and the curls in Lily's hair. Logan stood near the window, staring out at the city below. It looked calm, peaceful, ordinary, but his heart wasn't. He had spent half the night replaying the doctor's words. Hannah's last act had saved a child's life. A baby born out of chaos and pain had become the bridge between the man he was and the man he'd forgotten to be. But what did Tony mean by, "You were meant to find her"? That sentence wouldn't leave his mind. It was like a key hanging in the dark, waiting to unlock something dangerous. Elena walked in quietly, her hair still damp from a morning shower. She looked lighter now, almost radiant, like someone who had stepped out of the shadows after years of running. "Good morning," she said softly. "The girls are still asleep." Logan smiled faintly. "They deserve the rest." She nodded. "Thank you for last night. For everything." "You don't need to thank me," he said. "We're all just trying to make sense of what's left." She hesitated. "You found something out, didn't you?" Logan's expression changed. He met her eyes and saw fear flicker there, the kind that came from years of secrets. "I did," he admitted. "But it's not what you think. The truth doesn't make me angry, it makes me grateful." "Grateful?" she asked, confused. "Yes," he said. "Because now I know Hannah didn't die without meaning. She gave Hope her name. Her last words were about saving someone. That someone was your baby." Elena's eyes widened. "What?" "Dr. Harvey told me," he said. "He was there that night. You both were. Hannah's signature saved Hope's life." Tears filled her eyes. "I remember that night," she whispered. "Everything hurt. I thought I was dying. They told me another woman didn't make it, but they didn't say her name. I had no idea." Logan nodded. "She gave what she could, and somehow it led us here." Elena covered her face and wept quietly. When she looked up, her voice shook. "Do you think she'd forgive me for how my life went after that?" "She already did," Logan said gently. "She always believed every life deserves a second chance." Outside the door, Lily's voice called out sleepily, "Mom? Mr. Logan?" They turned. Lily rubbed her eyes and smiled. Hope woke up early. "She's smiling." They followed her into the room and sure enough, Hope was sitting up, clapping her hands and babbling. The sight made everyone laugh. Logan picked her up carefully and she squealed, grabbing his tie. "See that?" he said, laughing softly. "She's got good taste." "She likes you," Lily said proudly. "She said your name." "She what?" "Watch," Lily said, leaning close to her sister. "Say it again, Hope. Say low." Hope made a soft sound, half a laugh, half a syllable. Logan froze, eyes wide. It wasn't perfect, but it was close enough. She said it. Lily giggled. She said low. For a moment, the room filled with joy. Elena covered her mouth to hide a sob. Logan smiled through tears he didn't expect. "You're a strong girl," he whispered. "You've got your mother's courage, and maybe something from my Hannah too." The days that followed felt almost like healing. Miss Turner visited daily to check on their progress. Social workers approved their temporary stay at Logan's estate after the hospital discharge. The media had briefly caught wind of the rescue story, a millionaire saving a street girl and her baby, but Logan made sure it didn't turn into a spectacle. He wanted peace, not attention. One afternoon, he took the family to his countryside home, a sprawling, quiet property far from the city. The air smelled of pine and wildflowers. Lily ran ahead across the grass, shouting, "It's so big. Mom, come see." Elena walked slowly, holding Hope in her arms. "I don't think I've seen this much green in years," she said. "Neither have I," Logan admitted. "Not since Hannah." They settled into a small guest house on the property, a cozy place with white curtains and soft furniture. Logan had arranged everything: food, clothes, even toys for the girls. Elena looked overwhelmed. "You did all this in 2 days?" "I wanted it to feel safe," he said. "I know what it's like to lose that." "You really are something," she said, her eyes soft. "You could have walked away." "I tried that once," he said quietly. "Didn't work." That night, after the girls were asleep, they sat on the porch together. The air was cool and still. Crickets sang somewhere in the grass. "Do you ever miss her?" Elena asked gently. "Every day," he said. "But not in the way that hurts anymore. Now it's like she's walking beside me again. Just in a different way." "You sound at peace," she said. "Almost." He looked at her. "And you? Are you ready to stop running?" She hesitated. "I want to be, but part of me is still scared. I've seen what the world can take. Maybe it's time to see what it can give," he said. Their eyes met in the dim porch light. For the first time in a long time, they both smiled, not out of politeness but from something real. The next morning, Detective Monroe arrived at the estate. His expression was grim. "Sorry to show up unannounced," he said, "but we've got a problem." Logan led him into the study. "What kind of problem?" "The case files we recovered from Tony's hideout. We finally decrypted them. There's a name that keeps coming up." "Yours." Logan frowned. "Mine? Why?" "Tony was tracking you long before you ever met the family," Monroe said. "He had photos of your building sites, your company accounts, even your late wife's medical records. He mentioned something called the Guardian Contract." "Never heard of it," Logan said. "It's not a legal term," Monroe replied. "Looks more like an underground deal, something about surrogate custody. We think Hannah's name might have been used for more than one child's record." Logan's stomach dropped. "You mean there could be others?" "Possibly," Monroe said. "We don't know how many, but Tony was part of a ring that trafficked identities for abandoned infants. Hannah's credentials were stolen right after her death. They used them to legitimize births that weren't supposed to exist. So Hope was one of the lucky ones," Monroe said. "Most of the others didn't survive." Logan's hands shook. "And Tony knew all this?" "He was in deep," the detective said. "But there's one more thing. Someone paid him to watch you." Logan froze. "Who?" "We don't know yet," Monroe said. "But the payment came from an offshore account connected to one of your old partners, Ethan Granger." Logan's expression hardened. "Ethan? He left the company years ago." "Seems he didn't leave clean," Monroe said. "We're digging deeper." After the detective left, Logan sat in silence. His mind raced through memories of Ethan, a brilliant but greedy man who had once been his closest friend. If Ethan was behind this, it meant everything was personal. That night, Logan couldn't sleep. He stepped outside and walked through the garden, lost in thought. Suddenly his phone buzzed. A known number again. He answered. A familiar voice came through the line, calm and cold. "Logan," it said. "You should have stayed out of this." "Ethan," Logan said, his voice steady. "So it's true." "It's always been true," Ethan replied. "You had everything: money, success, Hannah's love. I had nothing. But now I have something you want." "You used my wife's name," Logan said, anger rising. "You used her death." "Don't act righteous," Ethan said. "You think you're a savior. You think this poor woman and her kids are your redemption. But you're just another man trying to fix guilt with kindness." "You're wrong," Logan said. I'm doing this because it's right. Then let's see how right you feel when I take them from you, Ethan said. I know where they are. The call ended. Logan's blood went cold. He ran back toward the house. Lights flicked on inside. Elena stood in the doorway, alarmed. What happened? Pack your things, he said quickly. We have to leave. What? What's going on? He's coming, Logan said. Ethan Granger. He knows about you. About the girls. Elena's face went pale. How? He's behind all of it. Tony worked for him. He's been watching us. Panic flickered in her eyes, but she nodded. Okay, what do? We go to the safe house, he said. I have one up north. They moved quickly, waking Lily and wrapping Hope in a blanket. Within minutes, they were in the car, driving through the dark countryside. The road stretched long and silent. Rain began again, soft at first, then heavy. Mom, where are we going? Lily asked sleepily. Somewhere safe, Elena said, stroking her hair. Logan's phone buzzed again. A text from an unknown number. You can't run forever. He tightened his grip on the wheel. He's tracking us, he muttered. How? Elena asked. The car's GPS, he realized. He pulled to the side, got out, and ripped the tracking device from beneath the bumper, throwing it into the woods. When he got back in, his face was grim. We keep moving. After 2 hours, they reached a secluded cabin near a forest lake. The air was cold and still. Logan got the generator running and secured the doors. We'll be safe here, he said. But even as he said it, he wasn't sure. That night, the wind howled outside. The trees whispered in the dark. Elena sat near the fire, holding Hope close. Do you think he'll find us? She asked. Not tonight, Logan said. I have guards watching the road. What does he want? Control, Logan said. And revenge. He blames me for everything he lost. What did he lose? She asked softly. His soul, Logan said. Silence stretched between them. Then she said, You're not like him. You save people. So did he once, Logan said. Before greed replaced his heart. Hours passed. The fire burned low. Logan dozed off in a chair, but a faint noise woke him, a crunch outside. He stood quietly and peered through the window. Headlights flashed between the trees. He found us, Logan whispered. Elena's hand clutched his arm. What do we do? Stay inside, he said. Lock the door and don't open it for anyone but me. He stepped outside, the cold air biting his skin. A black SUV stopped near the gate. Ethan stepped out, wearing a dark coat and a cruel smile. You always were predictable, he said. You never could let go of lost causes. Go home, Ethan, Logan said. This ends now. You're right, Ethan said, raising a gun. It ends tonight. A shot rang out. Logan dove behind a car as the bullet shattered the cabin's porch light. Inside, Elena screamed. Mommy? Lily cried. Get down? Logan shouted. Another shot. Then another. He grabbed a metal bar from the firewood stack and crept toward Ethan's blind spot. Rain poured harder now, thunder rolling across the sky. You think you're the hero? Ethan yelled. You think you can erase what you did? What I did? Logan shouted back. You destroyed lives. So did you, Ethan snarled. You stole my future. Hannah was supposed to be mine. Logan froze. What did you say? Ethan stepped into the light, face twisted with rage. She was mine before she chose you. You think I forgot? She left me for you. And when she died, I made sure you'd live with her ghost forever. You're lying, Logan said. Am I? Ethan smiled. Who do you think leaked her medical records? Who do you think started the rumor that her death was your fault? Logan's heart clenched. You, me, Ethan said. And now I'll take everything she left you.